strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every ember. You are my strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. In every ember, there's a tragedy in every ember. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember.
Enter into a new dimension of creation. The power to design, animate, and edit. Cool and quiet as you create, with breathtaking graphics performance. The way you create will never be the same.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Week 2 of HSL Season 2 Rocket League. My name is Maximilian Thorvald Newman, also known as Formal Casting, and today we're bringing you 3 more matches of some high school action. It's kind of our first week on stream. We're unable to bring you the games from last week live. Of course, all of our games are recorded. You can find them if you search up XP Esports. Look at that YouTube channel. They will get there eventually, but for now, we are getting ready for not 1, not 2, but 3 exciting games. Best of 5 series. All 3 of our divisions will be playing today as we can take a little look at the format for how this tournament is being run. I'm trying. Well, it's apparently not going over. That's all well and good. Instead, we're just going to look at our 3 conferences one at a time, starting, of course, with Conference A. Marsden Makos, STMC Black, Chisholm Maroon, Lakers Legends, ATC Irish Warriors, SBCC Blue, Craigsley Conquerors, and Trinity College Red. This makes up Conference A, where we are going to be seeing our first game of the afternoon. Our second game, well, that will be from Conference B, consisting of, well, Irish Warriors B, Chisholm Green, Craigsley Conquerors 2, Grace Gamers, STMC Gold, SBCC White, Makos Gray, and the Mansfield Minotaurs. Then, to finish off the afternoon, we do go to Conference C, consisting of some of the newer teams to the league. That is Grace Gamers MS, Trinity College Brew, TSS Cyber Sharks, Maryborough Meteors, who have probably the best logo out of all the teams, Unity College United, SSC Spartans A, and SSC Spartans B. We will be getting a match from them for our third game this evening. That said, I'm sure you're kind of wondering what our matches are going to be. Well, our opening match, it's going to be this one, Craigsley Conquerors versus Chisholm Maroon. That is going to be the first of 3, which we can sort of see right here. Craigsley Conquerors, Chisholm Maroon first up. Then Grace Gamers SS will be taking on Craigsley Conquerors 2. And then it'll be Grace Gamers MS taking on the TSS Cyber Sharks. So a match from each conference in order, 1, then 2, then 3. One more time, all these are best of 5s. Looking again at our opening match. Kind of excited to see how this one will play out. I have to admit, I know Chisholm Maroon, constant threat to go far in these tournaments. They haven't really been able to put an entire season together just yet and sort of win one of these events. They've gotten close a few times, whereas the Craigsley Conquerors, this is a new team. Don't know much about them. Excited to learn. We'll see if they'll be able to match up against the Chisholm Maroon side. Now, we will be going to the game very, very momentarily. I'm not sure if you can hear that music pumping behind you, but they are ready to go from what I can tell. As we take a look, DHF Stadium, where we will be playing. It will be the Craigsley Conquerors on the blue side, taking on Chisholm Maroon in orange, and we are loading in. Take a quick look at those lineups. Evo, Juby, and Zevilles will be on the Craigsley side, whereas Chisholm Maroons, Lasso, Marshall, as well as Mountain, still without the dew. Funny little reference from the past right there. This is a player who, well, before was Mountain without dew, now he is still without that dew. And I think it's about time we kind of give Mountain some of his due. Perhaps he will earn it in this series today. Again, when we think of this Chisholm Maroon side, they have, in the past, actually been a quite aggressive team, although at the moment, struggling with that backboard defense. That's going to open a doorway for Juby to get the first goal in. Craigsley Conquerors striking first. And as you can see, you know, it was the right idea on defense. Obviously, Mountain with no dew going for the squishy shave is always going to be a tough ask to pull that one in. 1-0 lead in favor of Craigsley after our first 20 seconds. Again, it was a strong backboard play, and now Juby added again. You can see the car control with that aerial dribble. It's going to be something that I think Chisholm Maroons are going to have to be a little cautious of moving forward. Ball in front of the box. A late challenge by Zivel. Won't be able to find too much with it. Mountain still without dew. This time without the save. It'll be Lasso who has to come through on that tail end. Juby, though, proving once more that this is going to be a player to watch. Very, very impressed initially with Juby's sort of car control and speed. This is going to be a threat, I think, throughout this series. Now with no dew, takes the midfield shot, trying to draw the defense out of the box. Won't be able to push him out too far. As we see Marshall again trying to go for that challenge ball in a dangerous spot. Here comes Lasso. Can't quite wrap around the ball, but because of the triple kill in on defense, I thought it was going to be going in. Evo able to actually push through, find that save. Very, very fortunate for Craigsley right there. They don't let that one in. Defense barely able to hold on. This Chisholm attack, I mean, again, I have to say, historically, Chisholm has been a team that has been more comfortable on offense than on defense. They can keep you pinned down on that back end for a very long time once their offensive rotations do get going. And we can see them trying to establish it here. Very slow play coming from the Craigsley defense. Eventually, they will go for that solo play, pushing it through. Evo creates a lot of space, but 2 defenders opting to stay back as we see Juby. Nice corner pass to himself, but his teammates bit into the corner, and that's going to open the doorway for Mountain, still without the due. Able to score. Again, give this player their due. As we see that right there, just beating Juby out of the corner, able to put that one in. So that is going to be a 1-1 game. Apologies if the stream is a little bit laggy. I think we'll be looking to try and fix that as soon as possible if there is going to be a way, as we do see 3:05 still to go. Lasso, going to look to control the middle of the pitch right now. Evo, going to try and play that one into the corner. We'll try to set up off that backboard. You got a player underneath, unable to find that shot. A little disappointing. We don't really get that one through there. As Mount with no do fakes out one defender. Still 2 more to beat. Has Marshall across the middle, going to try for that pass. Intercepted by Juby yet again. And now he's going to go for the goal as well. Backboard pass over to Evo. Open net, and you know it's going in. 2-1 lead for the Craigsley Conquerors off of a very nice setup right there. Evo puts it up. Juby keeps it high, seeing Lasso coming up to challenge, and then Evo with that doorway open, able to knock it in. A 2-1 lead for Craigsley right now, who are looking like that faster team. If I'm going to be a little bit critical of this blue side, I'm not a fan of the passive play that we saw through a lot of that second minute in this game. Granted, we're still very early in this series, so plenty of time for that to change. Definitely not something that I think will be continuing. We'll see where we go from here as we see Mount with no do, pressing it forward. Ball off that backboard as Marshall will try to keep the ball into the corner. Juby actually cuts off Evo on the play, trying to get a bit more distance. Mount with no do has that read. Ball still stuck in the corner right now. Eventually, Xville will be able to try to center it. It was a pass to Mount with no do. Unable to find it just yet. Juby now, again, trying to find that clear. Doesn't find the second touch. Mountain still without the do, doing what he can defensively. But now we are starting to see this Craigsley side pressing a little bit further forward than they had previously. And it's causing a lot of problems for the midfield play out of Chisholm. That space that was given to them before is no longer there. And the team is struggling a bit, I feel like, to really maintain control of the ball right now. As Evo does drive it straight into Marshall, and this is the best bit of space that Chisholm has been able to create for themselves for a little while. Perhaps we get to see those offensive rotations once more. Juby beaten by Lasso. Marshall's going to try to race to that corner, has a bit of boost to play with. It's going to use it to throw it back down to the middle. Lasso was there, but so too was the defense. That's Evo getting in the way with the interception. Now Xville actually sees an open net, puts one on target. Lasso can't fall back in time to make the save, and we got ourselves a 3-1 lead. Very, very good start right there for 3-1. Very, very strong. I mean, I'm really impressed with this Craigsley team. Not going to sugarcoat this one at all. This Craigsley side, they are fast. They're picking their moments pretty intelligently. And again, Juby in particular has showed off some pretty amazing car control. Like, this is a very experienced player who has been relegated back to that third-man position. I think he's kind of letting their teammates, or they, I should say, letting their teammates sort of press forward, press ahead, and try to create what space that they can. Ball now, middle of the field. Civil will be able to get there in time, trying to follow it up from underneath. Oh, it's a swing and a miss from Juby. A rare unforced error, although it didn't look like Chisholm was in position to punish just yet. Instead, they throw down a deep clear, and they're going to attack relentlessly. Mountain still without the do, unable to put that one in. I don't know if they're going to get another opportunity like that in this game. Another swing and a miss from the Mountain, although Lasso is going to put one on target. There's no third man. Lasso was already filling that position, and this attack is going to have to slow down if they're going to get the defense to bite. Juby. Slow dribble up that sidewall. Mountain gets the demo, but loses possession of the ball. And with 30 seconds remaining, and with that unforced error, that possibly could be a second miss. Oh, Chisholm falling apart at the seams, it seems. 2 unforced errors on their defensive half. Very fortunate they're not punished there. However, with only 13 seconds to go, it should be more than enough for the Craigsley Conquerors to take game number 1. That's going to be going in favor of the blue side. Again, this is a best of 5, so still plenty of time in this. However, it is going to be a bit of a roughie for game number 1, and the fans of the Chisholm Maroon. Ball still being bounced around. Eventually will hit the ground. Craigsley Conquerors taking our opening game. Strong side, Evo, Juby, and Zivil. Game says that Juby deserves MVP. I have to agree. Just by skill alone, this player looks absolutely phenomenal from what we've seen so far in game number 1. Moving forward, Chisholm Maroon, I think Got to cut down on those unforced errors, particularly on the defensive side. They were very fortunate that Craigsley likes to play a bit further back than some of the other teams in this tournament. I believe that's a big reason why they were able to get away with some of it. However, moving forward from here, I would also like to see Craigsley actually play that a little bit more far forward. I think if they do get a bit more aggressive, they may be able to get away with it and really keep Chisholm down. So both teams, have chances to sort of improve themselves, see where they can go as we jump right back in to this one. Looks like, oh, okay. I was worried someone was claiming to be me in the Twitch chat. I see you, Max Plays. I see you, same name, doppelganger. I feel it. All right, game number 2. Here we go. Craigsley Conquerors on the blue side. Chisholm Maroon still in orange. Game 2 in this best of 5. Pretty good position for Craigsley to be in. They won game 1 quite comfortably. See if they're going to be able to continue that. Whoa. This is interesting. That was very, very deep defense looking for the demo, and it kind of left Juby alone in that forward fielding play. Chisholm overextending for the demo. It winds up biting them as the defense was forced to race back and just could not get back in time to stop that Craigsley setup. So Craigsley going to be up 1-0. A pretty good start for Craigsley, looking to continue that momentum of series number 1. Zivel. Oh, swing and a miss off that wall. Let's see what Lasso can now do from that side, trying to center that play. Evo will be the one with possession, trying to take it straight. Mountain still without the do. Able to make the save eventually, but that's not going to stop that midfield control being established right now by our Craigsley side, and it only lasts for so long until Juby will be able to put it in. 2-0 lead now for Craigsley, picking right up where they left off after game number 1. This blue side, complete control, dare I say. And Craigsley, they are starting to struggle a bit. They got more aggressive when it was really Craigsley. I wanted to see be a bit more aggressive. Chisholm, I just wanted to see more solid contact with the ball, more consistent challenges, and we have not been getting that, unfortunately. In fact, defense bumping into each other. Zivel had an open net up above, just couldn't quite make contact with the ball. Lasso, however, will be dribbling it across midfield, going to be looking at that net, looks semi-open. Mountain with no do, tries to fall back, although Evo will be the one who kind of centers it this time, looks to follow it up. That's a nice lob to that backboard. Swing and a miss from underneath. Lasso does make contact with it. Challenge on that sidewall. Eventually does go to Juby, who will flick one up. A chance for Zivel. Not quite there. Evo putting on another. Oh, was looking for that waterfall down. Unable to get it this time. Maybe Juby can make something happen. That's a powerful shot, but Mountain still without that do. Holding on for dear life. Zivel eventually will be the player in the box, able to put it in. Hello from Texas. Hammered down, my goodness. Good to see another American watching some Australian high school. I can respect that. Hello from Brisbane, my friend. 3-0 lead right now in favor of the Craigsley side. Looking pretty in control once again. Actually, even more so than game number 1. I feel as if Chisholm, under the pressure, they're starting to try and overcommit. They're starting to panic a little bit. We see them getting in each other's way. Double commits such as this, not doing the team any favors. And this kind of tells me that perhaps communication is breaking down under adversity, which is a bit surprising. This Chisholm lineup has been playing with each other now for several of these XP seasons, and historically have done quite well. Granted, if you take a look at this team's trajectory, they do have slower starts to the season and then pick up a bit more as the season progresses. Perhaps they're still kind of in that honeymoon or warming up phase. I don't want to call it a honeymoon. It's more like a honey nightmare when you're down 3-0. But perhaps they're still trying to figure themselves out. Either way, Evo with the crossfield touch does just enough to put that one in. Yeah, that actually technically is an own goal. An own goal passing in. Oh, a small disaster for Chisholm. If they can only do that going the other way, perhaps they're going to be in a better position. Phantom says, I can't wait till I'm able to play in this. You're in high plat. You know what, Phantom? I think being in high plat, you can play in this. Maybe not in this conference, but there are multiple conferences. So you know what? We'll see different levels as the day progresses. At the moment, still Mountain without that do. Able to find those few goals Chisholm are able to put in. As we see right here, Marshall off that backboard. Nice pass, but more impressive angle, really. Definitely one that seemed to have caught Craigsley a little bit out of sorts, expecting more of a dribbler shot, and why not? It's rare to get that kind of power at that kind of angle. Just enough to put it in. Mount with no do takes us back to a 3-goal game, and off the kickoff, Marshall had a chance. Just unable to beat out Juby right there. Zivel Now going to try to play midfield right now, looking at that net, unable to get that solo flick play, but when you have a player like Juby still playing third man, it gives you a bit more space and a bit more opportunities to be a bit intuitive with the ball, I kind of want to say, as we see Juby. Oh my goodness, that car control. Thing of beauty right there. Juby's actually a really fun player to watch when unleashed, although Lasso, with the slow play, actually is able to take it back out the field. That's a nice pass. Someone's got to be there, but Mountain, as well as Lasso, looked to be a little bit too far forward. I mean, Lasso was looking for the bump. Mountain had to be a little bit further back, and this goes back to that overcompensation that we're seeing from Chisholm Maroon at times. Desperate to try to make that play happen. They get themselves just slightly out of position, and it's hurting them time and time again. As we see where we go from here, ball across the middle of the field. Lasso just kind of watches it sail over the top. Zivel bumped off of the play. Minute 35 still to go. Lasso loses out on that challenge to Juby. As now we see another attempt, this time by Marshall. Hold that ball in the air. Evo first one to it, trying to drive it, and only drives it straight to that defense. Pace of this game slowing down a little bit after a flurry of goals to start off. It does look as if Craigsley has fallen back to that more defensive style. Oh, awkward miss from Evo, and nearly finding that back pass was Mountain still without the do. Instead, it turns into a little bit of a counterattack out of Evo. Zivo with boost, with space, is going to go for the backboard, tries to find the double, doesn't quite get there, but Juby will. Good save by Lasso, as that touch was very dangerous. Attack still on for the time being, though. Mountain, still without that do, has an entire pitch to work with. Went for a little musty, actually. Wasn't able to get it, but nice to see. You find that power from a musty in that position, I guarantee you that is a goal, so I'm not going to doubt this player for going for that shot. Actually, I've been seeing a lot less musties in 2021 than we saw in 2020. I wonder if they've sort of fallen out of favor and what the reasoning behind that is, at least within OCE Rocket League. And I'm not just talking high school, I'm talking like kind of more the professional scene as well. In 2020, we saw a lot of musties, but this year, been a significant decrease. Make of that what you will. As we see Marshall, it's going to be challenging through that corner. Ball in front of the net. Juby will be able to save it through. Now Lasso going to put up another lob shot. Mountain still without that do. It's going to be without the touch as well. Lasso keeps pressuring the goal, and no shot's going to find its way in. Wouldn't have changed too much in this one, though. It's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Kingsley Conquerors as the timer does hit 0. As we wait for that ball to touch the ground, eventually it will make its way there. 2-0 lead for Craigsley. Feeling pretty confident in this series right now. You can just see they've got the pace, I would say, over Chisholm Maroon. And especially when they get that ball very high up in the air. The vertical play at midfield. Chisholm actually looked stronger, I would argue, in the midfield play in game number 1, but it was a lot of ground play. Game number 2, the level play has been elevated, literally, and that seems to be benefiting this Craigsley side. Definitely more comfortable with that aerial game, which is a little bit surprising because that had been a strong suit for Chisholm in the past, but they don't have that same pace to match players like Juby. And as a result, whenever that ball gets up high, it's essentially a 50 going to be lost. Evo as well. Credit to Evo for also being up there. Actually, I'm pretty sure Evo got more of those midfield touches in game number 2. Either way, starting off game 3, it's a quick kickoff goal. Who else but Juby will be the one putting that one in? Are Grace Gamers playing today? Yes. Both Grace Gamers teams are going to be playing on stream, by the way. Games 2 and 3. It'll be Grace Gamers 1B and then Grace Gamers MS. So if you're looking to root on Grace Gamers, please stick around. They will be playing in our next 2 series. Juby, off of this kickoff. Going to be looking to play off that backboard right now. Mountain still without the do. Trying to drive it forward from underneath. Sets up one Marshall. He'll get that ball all the way to the corner, putting it in a dangerous spot. No one quite there to put it into the net. What grade do you have to be to play? That is entirely up to your school and your teachers, I believe. I can't answer that one for you. Sure, an admin could be listening in and possibly could. As we see a goal this time out of Lasso. Going to put that one through. Tie ball game. This is interesting. Juby was looking for that back pass to Evo and just wasn't expecting the aggression from Chisholm Maroon. And that's a little bit surprising because if anything, Chisholm has been a little bit over-aggressive at times. So when you go for those type of slow back passes, I would be expecting them to challenge. Definitely kind of caught this Craigsley side a little off guard. And this kickoff looks dangerous as well. Lasso able to find another one. 3 goals in our first 40 seconds of play. And for the first time in this series, Chisholm Maroon have the lead where they need it the most. This team looking for that comeback. I'm going to be quite happy with a 2-1 lead right now. I'm curious if they're going to be able to hold on As we see a nice little kick off. Double commit from the Chisholm side, and it goes back against them. This could be dangerous. Juby has that midfield boost. He's going to use a significant amount to get up to it, trying to find the pass down. Wasn't able to get that touch they were looking for, so instead the ball will bounce around middle of the pitch. Evo unable to get a good pass. That leads to the shot for Marshall as Ziffel overcommit to the left side of the net. I'm not sure what the game plan was there for Ziffel. Probably thinking boost, and right there. Okay. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of theory right here. So flipping to get speed, it's great and all, and it is a common thing that players do. However, when you commit to the forward flip to get that speed, you are also giving up space on the field and giving yourself a second less time to react to sort of any snap plays. If Ziffel had not opted for the flip in that situation, could have been in position to actually do a tight turn and make the save. Juby kind of interrupts my theory crafting right there, as they're going to be able to get that goal off of this solo play. I mean, wins the 50, stays on it, and gets that second. Well, the pressure for the second touch as well. It's kind of Lasso who put that in. But to go back to my previous point, it's why front flips for speed, you have to be really selective when you go for them, and you have to make sure that there's not a situation where you can get punished by doing so. I think players do it too often, more often than they realistically should, because sometimes it's all right going normal speed. You don't need to be going max speed 24/7, especially not when you're giving up half of the field in order to do so, which was what we saw right there. So this isn't not me calling this player bad by any stretch of the imagination at all. Like, obviously in that play, Ziffel was looking to get to the boost as fast as possible. However, sometimes not necessary is all I'm getting at. So if you feel like you need a front flip all the time, you don't. Either way, still 3 minutes left in this game. 2-3 scoreline. Ziffel going to be looking for a bit of redemption, perhaps trying to drive it straight up the middle of the field, but won't be able to get too far with it. Juby will lose out at that challenge right in the middle. As we see more pressure being put on, Lasso is able to win that challenge ball off the post, and Evo will get the clearance, a triple commit. Breakaway situation for Evo, just needs to put this one towards the net. Instead hits that backboard, looking for the second touch, will backboard it again. No follow through from a second man. Juby opting to stay back, waiting for the challenge, but loses out. This could come back to punish Craigsley, as they're back on that defensive side as well. Lasso, it's a good setup, but Marshall not quite there. Halfway through game number 3, Evo makes one defender miss, puts one off that backboard, and Juby a bit too tight to find that goal. And we've been seeing a few awkward touches and awkward misses now coming from this Craigsley side. No longer this dominant team. They're just not as consistent on offense. Now, you get the feeling that eventually one of these are going to break through if they keep creating these opportunities. Although Juby doesn't even challenge that ball. Once again, back on that blue side of the pitch. Tick-tock goes that clock, and another goal could make it a 2-goal game. Doesn't quite go in. Mount with no deuce stops that counterattack. Evo stuck in no man's land, and Ziffel misses. Pretty significant miss as we hit our final 2 minutes in game number 3. Deep clear right now. Juby able to collect from underneath, trying to slow it down. Loses possession, gets the bump onto Lasso. Follow through from Ziffel is there, but it is slow. Evo takes advantage of the bump in the space created by his team to keep pressing it forward slowly. Ball in a dangerous spot. That's going to get spiked in by Juby. And we got ourselves a tie ball game. Very tense game number 3. Chisholm finally allowing their aggression to pay off, I feel like. They're finding challenges that in the past they had been losing out on. Now they're winning, and we can see the space that they're creating, and it's forcing Craigsley to fight for each inch of the field, yet tight rotations from the Craigsley side actually kept that one slowly moving forward until eventually Juby finds that avenue for the shot. Really good to see from both of these teams. Adaptations being made. Juby goes for the mother of all double touches right there. That would have been insane, unable to find it. Still just over a minute to go in this game. Next goal most likely going to end this one, be it in regulation or overtime. So a lot of pressure is going to be put on both these teams. Again, if Craigsley is able to find this goal, they're going to win this series, and they're looking to get it through right now from underneath. Ziffel doesn't have the angle. That said, Aixo does. Great save by Mountain still without that do. And now with 100% boost, he's going to be looking to clear it up that other way. Gets the dribble past Juby off the backboard. Do we see the shot? No. Marshall was playing a bit further back, wanted to read the defensive clear attempt, and although he was able to get a wheel on it, wasn't able to create the space required. Very unique to see Chisholm no longer playing that super far forward, those tight rotations, playing further back, and it did not pay dividends. Now, with 35 seconds to go, Ziffel goes for a fake, unable to sort of juke out the defense right there. Juby keeps the ball low as well against Lasso. Marshall's already there, but with an awkward touch, Juby can challenge again. Ball's going to fall in a very dangerous position. Marshall does have that read, but Juby with the demo in the corner opens it up for Zivil, who takes the shot. The angle was tight, but Mountain still without that do. A little bit tighter with the save. Evo now pass back to Juby. Pass across the middle. No, it's a shot. Mountain still without that do. Again on the save. And Mountain, without that do, has been keeping his team in it. Now has a chance to end it as well. In regulation, shot from Lasso's going to go through. And with 2 seconds to spare, Chisholm Maroons may have just taken game number 3. This defense was put on its back foot for so long, and the moment they were on that counterattack, they're able to get it in. Now a 3-4 game. Let's see what Craigsley Conquerors can do right here. Ball in the air. It should hit the ground. It should end that one. Chisholm Maroon bringing it back 4-3 in that game. A 1-2 series. They're going to be playing for that reverse sweep. Really good to see Chisholm Maroon start to warm up and feel themselves in this, though. They didn't do too much to change their strategy. I still think they looked better. Obviously, when it worked out. It's surprising, actually, because normally when a team is down 2-0, that's where they will look to mix things up. Either start playing a more passive game if they're too aggressive, or a more aggressive game if they're too passive. But they stuck to those tight rotations, and I don't know, the biggest difference was they started to win a lot of those 50s. They started to have that confidence to really challenge more, particularly on the opponent's side of the field. So very good to see from that Chisholm side to bounce themselves back in this. We'll be able to see if they're going to follow it through right here. Also, thank you for the love, Phantom. Greatly appreciate that. Love hearing positive feedback like that. Either way, it's more about the players today. As for their rank, I believe it is a mix of champ and grand champ in this. Probably more, yeah, it would be a healthy mix of both. As Zivil almost gets off that kickoff right there. That drive straight down the middle. Not able to get it in. Ball will be launched back across the middle of the field right now. Lasso. Oh, go looking for the bump, unable to find it. Because he doesn't find it, Marshall stays back, trying to slow that pace down. There's that pass to the middle. Not enough power behind it. And I actually think that Chisholm was hoping to keep the ball in the corner a little bit longer. Counterattack coming from the Craigsley side. Unable to find that goal initially. Juby, again, just sort of lobbing it across the box. No one able to collect it this time. Too much power behind that initial touch. Mountain still without that do. Actually, he's going to take it all the way. Ball in front of the net. Evo has that backboard read, but loses possession out to Marshall. This looks very good for Mountain. Doesn't make contact. He slowed his acceleration to the ball just a little bit, trying to ensure he gets the angle, and unfortunately, in the process, actually lost the tracking of the ball. Very unfortunate whiff right there coming from the Chisholm side. Those mistakes will happen, though, when you're trying to, go for those more difficult shots. As we see Mountain still without that dude. Going to put another one off that backboard. Lasso there. Again, backboard setup for Marshall. Didn't want to take the shot. A little bit surprised by that. Marshall now will go along that corridor. Ball being played. Juby. Trying to slow play it again. And every time it looks like that Craigsley is trying to slow the ball down, a Chisholm member is there for that quick challenge. And the thing that's surprising me is that the team that's slowing it down in this case, okay, well, that's not going to be a good example of it. Craigsley now is starting to have the tighter spacing for the slower pace, which typically pays dividends, Juby. Whenever the team plays start to get set up, I'm expecting, a sort of team setup, but then Juby will just go for some individual play like this. I guess that's technically a double? I'm not really sure what to call that except for amazing right there. Juby, the car control on this player continues to astound me, to be quite honest, and that is a 1-0 lead in favor of Craigsley, and they're going to get another off the kickoff. Evo making it 2-0. A very comfortable lead right now. And this is going to be a very, very strong start. 2-0 for Craigsley. Curious to see where they'll be able to go from here if they can hold on to this lead. I feel like Chisholm kind of needs that early lead for them to play with that confidence we saw in game number 3. Instead, we see a double commit, but it pays off. All right. Well, proven wrong right away. Marshall able to strike back. Mountain still without the do. I even like how he goes for the boost steal. Beautiful. That is just commitment to the play. Strong discipline. Doesn't mean much in the lighter terms of things, but it just tells me, it's going to be a goal. So 2-1. Off the kickoff, nearly another one for Craigsley. That would have been a little bit embarrassing for Chisholm as it stands. Plenty of time left in this game for the Chisholm side to try and tie us up once more, although they might not need that much time. Lasso with a chance, beats out Evo. A nice little cross-up right there to tie us up in this game. As we watch this one more time, Lasso just, that slight touch gets it behind Evo, and almost looked like a team demo right there. Kind of funny. The end result's still the same. Tie ball game, 2 apiece. Back and forth we go. Chisholm, never say die attitude, and I am pleasantly surprised. Again, they looked flustered games 1 and 2 where they fell behind, but I think getting that win in game 3 possibly has given this team that confidence to, knock out themselves out. And now, Marshall, off of the double whiff from the defense, had a chance to put that one through. It's a bit of a couple unforced errors right there. That does see the ball go back to the Chisholm side. Now on defense, let's see what this orange team can do. Looks to be trying to pass forward for Lasso, who decides against it. Triple commit in the corner, but then an unforced error in midfield. Oh, this game is breaking apart at the seams. Game 4 so far has been the messiest of the 4 that we have had. I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not sure what it is, if it's pressure or just, teams trying to really elevate their play too much and overcompensating. Either way, big bump from Juby in the goal. Opens it up from Evo. Mountain still without that do. What do you do to stop a player who comes up with clutch save after clutch save? You do what Juby does right here. You can see it in the background. Just absolutely cleans up the Mountain. And that's going to lead to a 3-2 lead. Not to mention a very nice aerial touch going through. And now with a 3-2 lead off that kickoff ball, heads towards the net, won't find its way in. Mountain still without that do. Going to try to clear it back the other way. It's a demo from Marshall, but Juby still going to be able to find that midfield play. Almost gets that second touch. Zivil, though, has it open. Just couldn't put an accurate play on the ball. Evo now with a chance, going to play through that corner. Ball's going to fall down. Someone's going to strike. It's going to be Juby. And with just under 100 seconds remaining, we got ourselves a 4-2 lead for Chisholm, already up 2-1 in this series. They hold on to this lead. They're going to take this one 3-1. Pressure put back on the Chisholm Maroon side to see if they're going to be able to come back in this. 4-2 scoreline. Kickoff, ball held in the air. Someone from underneath. It's going to be Evo. Swings. Gets bumped off the play. Now we see Zivil. Light touch. Going for the second. Tries to put it through. Not quite there. 90 seconds still to go in this game. Lasso. Going to play it across midfield. Evo. Good touch. Going corner to corner right now. Let's see Mountain with no do. Oh, that's an awkward pass. Zivil almost there to punish. Still Mountain has no do, but has a shot on target. Juby back there for that save. As we keep playing off that backboard, it's Juby. Trying to follow this one back. Oh, double bump right there. Just really making sure that these offensive rotations that have been successful for Chisholm in the past no longer exist. The team back all the way on their own backboard, give up so much space. Lasso's going to have to work for this and made all 3 defenders miss. That net is open. Time, though, is short, and they're not able to turn it into a goal. That could have been the prime opportunity. And unfortunately, once again, Chisholm just falling that little bit short. Now with 40 seconds remaining, they've got 1, maybe 2 attacks left, and they're falling back to this sort of we want to play all the way up the field style. They're relying on these solo plays to maybe make defenders miss, and it is giving them success. Like, they're providing these opportunities. They just haven't been able to finish on the plays, and unfortunately, with only 20 seconds to go, with how drawn out everything has been, I don't see this team being able to put one back. A shot from Eva will be saved. This counterattack has to be golden. It's a miss from Zivil. Juby's the only defender. They've got to put it in right now, and Evo, by clearing it to the corner, puts the dagger in this one. It's going to be Craigsley winning this series 3-1. They'll win this game possibly 4-2, unless one more will go through right now. In fact, Mount with O'Do almost gets it in. Clock does hit 0, and that will do it. It's going to be the Craigsley Conquerors conquering Chisholm Maroon 4-2 in our final game, 3-1 in our series, and boy howdy did this team play this one very, very well. Super strong side, as we can take a look at their final shot count. 4-2, what is that, 11? Yeah, definitely a lot more shots taken on our Craigsley side. Well deserving of that win, and they're going to be quite happy with that performance. Juby in particular, keep your eyes on this player. I think we're going to be seeing more of them in the future. However, for for Chisholm, they've had struggles in regular season play before. This team does tend to bounce back. Very skilled team, still have high expectations from them. Looking ahead, though, we still have more games in front of us. Coming up after a break, it's going to be the Grace Gamers SS taking on Craigsley Conquerors 2. So the other Craigsley team. That's going to be a fun one to watch. So please stay with us. More Rocket League when we return.
me now? Feel me now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some more XP High School Rocket League. Coming to you live from, well, the TGG, the Gamers Ground at the University of Queensland. If you haven't been here to check it out, please do. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. You know, some top-end PCs, some top-end racing sim machines, and, well, some top-end Rocket League today, at least within the high school divisions. Not to mention, you know, tons of weekly leagues. There's Valorant, there's racing. FIFA is another big one. So if you're interested in any of these games, Queensland area, come by, check it out. Sort of just in like the main food court area. You go up some stairs, you go in, you'll see the signs. Trust, it's easy to find if you know where to look, or, well, even if you don't, again, giant signs. Either way, though, we're continuing with some Rocket League here. Our next game about to come down as we take a look at what our schedule is thus far. Craigsley Conquerors, they beat Chisholm Maroon 3-1. Feeling pretty comfortable with that. Now it's going to be the Grace Gamers SS taking on the Craigsley Conquerors 2. It is not the same Craigsley Conquerors team. It is the Division 2 team. And they're going to be coming in. We'll see how they match up compared to that first team. Grace Gamers as well, hopefully able to keep the good times going. Of course, our third and final game will be Grace Gamers again. Their second team going to be taking on the TSS Cyber Sharks. So a lot of fun being held right there. One last look at our two logos coming into this one. I'm really curious about the backstory behind that Conqueror dude. Same logo. He's very, very bearded. Very armored up. When I think of like Australian high schools, I don't think of, you know, barbarians, but here we are. And here we go on to the pitch. Getting ready to kick off our next game. Grace Gamers, of course, will be in blue. Craigsley Conquerors will be in orange. As we get ready to go for this matchup. As soon as the word is given, the players should jump in. And we will be straight into this. It is a best of 5, just like last time. So the first 2-3 wins the series, gets the win on the day. Earlier today, each of these teams did play a different game, by the way. I believe Grace Gamers went up against the Irish Warriors, so they're once again playing against Warriors and Conquerors. Seems to be a theme right there. Whereas the Conquerors themselves went up against the Martin Makers Grey earlier today. So this is their second match. Teams will play 3 matches throughout the afternoon. And still waiting for the all good for the players to jump in. Hopefully we'll be getting them on to the pitch shortly. Just kind of waiting for that. Curious what you guys think, though, in the chat, who you think is going to win. Feel free to show that support. I can read what's happening in that chat, by the way, so feel free to share. Feel free to say what is up and up, and I will be happy to have a conversation. Already we're seeing, all right, Craigs Lee. Let's go, Craigs Lee. A lot of support for Craigs Lee already right off the bat. Interesting to see. I mean, I don't blame people for supporting this school, especially considering the results that we saw in that first game earlier today. As it looks to be players now jumping in. Here we go into that action. Just a quick look at the lineups on the Grace Gamers. You got horizontal, Nandrew Buchanan. I believe it just should be an Andrew, but we'll call him Nandrew if that's what they want. And skeletons for the Conquerors. You have EPL Curve, Epple. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Funky Planet and Poseidon. These are our 2 games underway. And already, a little bit of a swing and a miss coming from our blue side. Horizontal, though, we'll be able to follow it through. Ball off that backboard. Open net. Shot's not in. Second follow-up, though, will put through. A little bit of redemption there for Horizontal to make sure they get that 1-0 lead. I feel like you should have made that touch. But, hey, if you can sort of bounce back and recover, it's all good. Grace Gamers out in front already, just 14 seconds into this match with a 1-0 lead. Now we will be sort of relaxing a little bit now that we are underway. Horizontal off that kickoff again, trying to create some space. This being a Div 2 game, we're not going to be expecting the same, pace and tempo that we saw back in Division 1. So things might be a little bit sloppier than what we saw before, might be a little rougher around the edges. Still, though, has potential to be quite exciting, as we see. That's the Funky player pushing it up across, Funky Planet, I should say, pushing it up across the middle of the field. Now going to try to play through that corner. Hat is set up there for EPL. Unfortunately, EPL not quite able to wrap around it. It's a swing and a miss from Poseidon as well. That will lead to a Nandrew Buchanan clear. All the way back towards that backboard. Swing and miss from the defense. Everyone's swinging and missing, until eventually EPL tried to clear it up the field. Not enough power behind it. Horizontal, a chance for that second touch. Plays off that backboard. Looking for a chance to strike was Skeletons. Unable to find that clear avenue, as now EPL will clear it back up to the other side of the pitch. Horizontal, playing through that corner. Maintains possession of the ball. Will look to play off that sidewall. Second touch, slows it down. Skeletons unable to get there in time. So yeah, so our first game looked like GC level. So Champ, Grand Champ level. This looks like Champ Diamond level, to be perfectly honest. And that's where I'm going to assume. I really hope we're right, and that's what these players' skill level are. As I'm getting the thumbs up, I am correct. Shot coming from midfield. Not quite going to hit the mark. I feel good being able to predict that right, because that's my level. So the fact I can recognize players where I play makes me feel happy. Horizontal, back across the middle of the pitch. I mean, that's how we know that these players are actually better, because they play like the same rank I play at. So that means they are the better players that you're going to see in this entire tournament. Nandrew Buchanan kind of gets stuck in that corner right there, looking to wait underneath. Here comes Horizontal, has a chance. Trying to split it straight through the middle. Won't be able to get too far just yet. And Andrew again through that corner. Ball in the box. A chance for Skeletons. Didn't quite have that read. As the ball will find his way bouncing back across the middle of the field. Look, at this level, honestly, what we need to be looking for more so than anything else is clean rotations and solid contact with the ball. If you mitigate your unforced errors, eventually your opponents will make one. We're not quite at that level where you're sort of expecting 100% precision. Case in point, though, a few of these touches straight down the middle has been finding a lot of space and success for the Grace Gamers side. As we see that pressure being put in. Yeah, look, Kern Bear, absolutely Diamonds are better than GCs until I get to Champ. Then Champ are better than GCs. And then once I get to GCs, then GCs are the best rank. That's how it works. Whatever rank I'm at, that's the best rank. It's written in the rules of Rocket League. Just something you got to be aware of. Nandrew off that backboard. Now going to look for that pass forward to Horizontal. We'll be playing it through the corner. Looking to throw it back down. Oh, not quite able to find the connection there. Oh, another swing and a miss from Horizontal. This could open up that middle of the field. Andrew will post it. Close one being claimed. Horizontal cross the middle. Going to force that defense back. And now Horizontal with a gap is able to beat out Poseidon and make it a 2-0 lead. A little bit surprised to see that goal go through. I want to look at Poseidon's positioning in particular. Yeah, just kind of stopped at the post, expecting it to be tighter, and was, with that loss of momentum, unable to get themselves in front of the ball. Poseidon was kind of put in an awkward spot right there. I think typically what you would want to do almost is kind of go up on the backboard, perhaps instead of stopping right at that post. Either way, Horizontal off the kickoff is going to find another opportunity to find a goal. A quick hat trick for Horizontal. Now a 3-0 lead as we watch this again. Horizontal just playing at a faster pace right now than anyone else. Gets that second touch into the middle of the net. Solid 92 kilometers per hour. And that is a good start. Someone called the podiatrist 6 ankles broken. Yeah, pretty much. Right there. I mean, do you call the podiatrist or do you call the mechanic and fix the axles of the car? Could be either way. So we have a minute 15 still to go. 3-0 lead for Grace Gamers. A lot of that pressure coming from this player right there. Horizontal. Just been absolutely heavy right now. Has been the fastest player on the pitch. Oh, ball in a very dangerous spot. Somehow, someway, the defense is holding on, but they're unable to find that clear. No one wants to rotate around, too afraid that a tight tap would have put it through. So eventually you get a weak clear, and typically in those situations, what happens is the attacking side is able to keep their pressure on, but somehow, someway, they got a little bit too over-aggressive, gave up the middle of the field, and gave up that attacking chance. They are able to turn it back around, though, and EPL wins the challenge in front of the net. It's going to turn this one into a goal. 3-1 game with 42 seconds remaining. As we watch EPL one more time, just had that read, and Horizontal, unable to find the clear they were looking for, winds up own-goaling it a bit. All well and good, 42 seconds, still 2-goal differential. It's going to be a tough ask to sort of come back in this type of play, but perhaps they're going to be able to find a way to do so. Off that kickoff, looking pretty good for Craigsley, actually. They are going to be on that attacking half. EPL from underneath, unable to get it past Horizontal, playing that post defense. Still 30 seconds left. And now it is Grace Gaming, or Grace Gamers, I should say, on that attack. Playing it through that corner, Horizontal. Loses out to Poseidon, actually. That's a pretty big 50, because not only does it give up a lot of the field, but it also gives up a lot of time as well. 10 seconds. And eventually we are going to see Craigsley, I think, fall that a little bit short, although EPL, with the lightest touch, is able to just lob that over the top. 4 seconds, 1-goal game. We could see something special here. One last watch on that one. The lob shot does find its way into the net. And here we go. 4 seconds. Can we see the Craigsley Conquerors find a way through this? That kickoff's very good for Craigsley. The ball's going to fall in front of the net, but no one's there to take the shot, and they let it drop. Craigsley kind of let that one slip right there. A bit unfortunate. You thought maybe they had a chance off that kickoff. Not meant to be. And we're going to go ahead into game number 2. Grace Gamers, they got out in front fast and early, but I have to admit, this is almost looking like a one-horse team right now. Horizontal putting in a lot of work with that those midfield challenges and turning into sort of these dynamic attacks. I mean, it's a good sign of a player's skill, I should say, when Horizontal gets 3 goals with 0 assists from the team. Meanwhile, the Conquerors, they do seem a little bit more balanced overall. I think if they can just get pressure on a Horizontal, there's definitely ways that they can get back into this matchup. As we jump straight to the pitch for game number 2. Craigsley going to feel that pressure. We're going to see if they're going to be able to try to find a way back in. As everyone is jumping onto the pitch. There we go. Nandrew, Skeletons, same players. I don't think we saw any subs. Yeah, no subs. Although we did see a sub. Sorry, Super Pants actually coming in for Grace Gamers. A little bit of a surprise right there instead of Horizontal. And, well, Super Pants is going to get the first goal, so there you go. So you pull out your star player from game number 1, and then the sub comes in and gets a midfield goal as well. Hey, you know, you're not going to complain with that if you are Grace. 1-0 lead for the Grace Gamers side. Very surprising to see the sub into play. I'm very shocked by that, but we'll see if it still pays dividends. Super Pants as well going to try to play through that corner. Gets the touch towards the net. That would have been a nice pass had a player been there. Nandrew playing a little bit too far back, and now Poseidon's going to push it the other way. EPL takes advantage. Is going to try to go for that waterfall setup. Ball doesn't quite hit that little curve at the top. And now we see a counterattack play. Poseidon, ooh, nearly threw a pass over to Skeletons. No boost available and too tight spacing. Means the attack will quickly fizzle for the Grace Gamers. Super Pants needing to play that third man defense. Puts an awkward touch on the ball. That will lead to a good play from the Funky Planet. who stays with it. Ball approaching the net, but we're not going to see that goal just yet. Instead, we're going to see Super Pants take it back that other way. Into the corner, Poseidon. Going to try to lob one down. Here comes Super Pants. No control. Oh, no one able to get good touches on the ball there. Eventually, we'll get to that backboard. Super Pants and Nandrew bump into each other. Nandrew eventually will look for that challenge. Gets one touch over one defender. Oh, Skeleton's cutting his teammate off. Weird spacing. Communication falling apart a little bit for the Grace Gamers. Despite their 1-0 lead, they're still able to manage control. But feeling a little ball chasey went on the attack right now, and eventually that could lead to a dangerous situation. You could see it right there. The middle of the field was wide open, but no one there to take the shot, and the middle of the field stays open for the counterattack. Grace Gamers now up 2-0. As we watch this one again, Skeletons just needed to put one towards that net. It does go through. And we got ourselves a 2-0 lead in favor of the Grace Gamers. Looking to go 2-0 up in the series as well. Interesting games thus far. Funky. Going to look to clear it across that middle. That's where Nandrew is waiting. Deep pass down. Nandrew's going to stick with it. Keep that ball held in the box. Ooh, apology message coming out. Really not too happy with that. As we see Super Pants maintain possession, trying to drive it towards the net. Ball off the post. No one there to follow it up. Skeletons just couldn't quite make that post read. A little unfortunate. Could have been a 3-0 game. Camera. Thank you. Super Pants. Looking to get that ball to the middle of the pitch right now. Trying to stay underneath it. But here comes EPL. Oh, gets bumped off by Skeletons. That one nearly turning into a goal once again. Still a lot of time on that clock. 2:50 to go. Plenty of time for that 2-goal comeback from Craigsley. Set up in front of the box. Not going to go in the net. Funky Planet. Awkward read from underneath. Will clear it straight down the center. Swing and a miss from Skeletons, but it doesn't matter. It did matter. That ball was still going to go in. All what happens with Skeletons doesn't steal that goal. And now 3-0 for Grace Gamers. Grace pulling away with this game, with this series perhaps, as they are looking very much in control. For this Craigsley side, it's a little bit surprising because I do feel Craigsley's rotations haven't been like necessarily terrible. In fact, they've been quite strong. They just, situations like that where they're just missing the ball, unfortunately. And these unforced errors are what's holding Craigsley back. Was hoping to see a bit cleaner play, but that's okay. As we see a shot get close to going in, that follow-through should put it through. Super Pants going to make it 4-0. Hat trick for the Super Pants. As we approach our final 2 minutes of this game, lead starting to spiral out of control. Grace Gamers very much looking to go up 2-0 in this series. Bin Chicken AU has joined the scene. Fair enough. I love that name, by the way. That might be my favorite Twitch name I've seen in a good long while. 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. Ball going to be held in the corner right now. Skeletons looks for a way to put it through. Doesn't quite find it. Nandrew swings and misses with boost available. Very odd to see that one. Super Pants. Now we'll look to play off that backboard. Clears it across the center from underneath. Do we have a teammate? Not quite, so Super Pants will have to stay with it. From underneath the ball. Looks to flick one up. Skeletons won't find that read. As we see EPL. Oh, feels a little bit back flip. Now trying to follow it through. EPL. Actually leaves it for Poseidon, who won't be able to get too much further with it. Might I add as well, Poseidon probably has the coolest car decal. These are the little things that we noticed and like to shout out. Style just as important as everything else. EPL. Oh, that was close. EPL barely able to get the save right there. Bro, where's Horizontal? He's better. Horizontal's taking a seat for game number 2. Horizontal came out swinging, and now Super Pants is in. And Super Pants as well with a hat trick, so I kind of want to see both Super Pants and Horizontal on the same side. That one, so all Nandrew. Shot from the middle of the field. Absolutely drilling this 104 kilometers per hour. Just bang right on the corner of that hitbox. Driving that most power. Gets the goal. 5-0 lead as Grace Gamers pulling further and further ahead. Here we go. 5-0 lead. Poseidon with the chance. Unable to put that one in. So we hit our final minute. Craigsley probably going to be down in a 2-0 situation. Granted, we did see Chisholm fall down 2-0, and then the team started to get more aggressive and bring themselves back in. Perhaps we're going to see that one again in our matchup here as we approach the final 40 seconds of play. Skeletons swings. Skeletons misses. Super Pants from underneath. Tries to throw it to Skeletons. Stays with the ball. Gets it past midfield. Skeletons with the flick shot. And whoa! What happened to EPL there? Looked like a ghost took over the car. Watch the slide. You can see right there, yeah, just slid way too hard. Unable to sort of cut that one off, and unfortunately, that's going to be a 6-0 game. So if we weren't sure before, we're definitely going to be sure now. Grace Gamers easily going to be taking game number 2 in this best of 5. More pressure being put on the net. Eventually, it should be our final 20 seconds. And it's looking like Grace Gamers are going to make it a 7-0 game as Super Pants gets yet another. Sort of running up the score at this stage. Funky Planet down to Super Pants will be able to pretty much lock and load and fire that one in. 17 seconds left on this clock. People are chanting for the Brazil. Chat wants to see it. And yeah, with the fake kickoff, there could be a chance. Ball does get to that backboard. Super Pants is going for the Brazil. Funky Planet gets credit for the goal, but it is Super Pants who put it into their own net. Give us the Brazil scoreline, 7-1. See, I have mixed feels about this. Yeah, you see that 7-1 scoreline, but is it a true Brazil, guys? Is it a true Brazil if the team own goals to get it? I disagree. I don't believe that is a true Brazil. I think it is a fake Brazil. It is an Argentina next to Brazil. 7-1, 7-2-0 eventually will be the score. Nothing against Argentina, by the way. I actually want to visit Argentina one day. Country looks cool. Same with Chile. If I were to go anywhere South America, it'd be more on that southern end. Either way, Grace Gamers are going to go ahead and take this one 7-1. Feeling pretty good with the end result right there. Super Pants coming in, finding 4 goals for himself, subbing in for Horizontal, who looked amazing game 1. Super Pants looks amazing game 2. Much better job, though, at enabling the rest of the team, Super Pants was. It was less of that one-man show as we get ready to go into our third game, and we're seeing yet another sub already from the Grace Gamers side. Everyone stepping in and getting involved for the Grace Gamers. Craig's Lee down 2-0 in the series are going to have to try to fight back in. Oh, we see Super Pants and Horizontal. Oh, this is going to be dangerous, and Zethro will be subbing in, so the third sub in for this side, and the really beautiful Octane right there. Opening kickoff. Looks pretty good. Horizontal is going to be able to push this one forward. KRN Bear calling for the reverse sweep as your Spark is saying, can't really get a reverse sweep if that score is 16-0. And I have to admit, I'm kind of agreeing with Spark. I don't think it's going to be 16-0, but I do feel like this is going to be a Grace Gamers victory. Super Pants going to go for that first goal. Tries to slow it down. Dribbles it straight into the defense. Horizontal now keeping that ball held up high. Funky Planet will be able to seal away. Zethro makes an awkward read. And now we see that ball go across the middle of the pitch. No one there to punish, and that's a worrying side for Craig's Lee. I feel like Craig's Lee, by not attacking right there, tells me this team is very defense-minded right now. They're afraid to take risks, and that's usually where things fall apart. Granted, they also have put in a sub themselves. Air Force 4 stepping in. EPL trying to drive it towards that backboard. Unable to find that goal just yet. Super Pants going to clear it across the middle, looking for the pass to Zethro. No, it's a flick up. Zethro going to take the shot. It does not quite go straight enough, as Horizontal will keep that ball held in the corner. Double, triple commit into the corner coming from the Craig's Lee defense. Super Pants in position to punish, and now that net is open, and that ball's going in. Super Pants making it 1-0. Triple commits are always going to be a little bit spooky, and that's why you're going to want to avoid these, as we see right here. That ball just going into the net. 1-0 lead for the Grace Gamers. Comfortably out in front for the time being. See if they're going to be able to extend it for now. I imagine expectation is that they will be able to. Won't get that waterfall quite where they want it. But what they will get is some corner pressure, perhaps. Another triple commit by Craig's Lee into that corner. Opens up the middle of the field. Near own goal from Air Force 4. Who's going to have to put that one in a very awkward spot. And look how far forward Grace Gamers are playing. They are hungry to make this one 2-0. They are not giving any space to Craig's Lee, and eventually they do fall back. I think that's probably the smarter choice, especially when you get double commits like that. And a swing and a miss in the corner. Opens it for Horizontal, who posts it. Oh, no. I feel like 9 out of 10 times he probably makes that shot, but that's not going to be the time right there. My goodness, Horizontal redemption again, missing on the open net. Oh, that's going to be a little bit frustrating. Now you got a counterattack play coming from Craig's Lee. They get that ball to the backboard. And now Horizontal's actually going to bump Super Pants into the play. That's going to open up a doorway, perhaps. Shut down by Zethro. We thought maybe, just maybe, we're going to get that goal right there. Not to be the case now. Ball's going to bounce into the middle of the pitch. Super Pants will drill it. 2-0 lead in favor of Grace Gamers. Looking to be on a march to that 3-0 series victory. Not sure how they will be able to come back in this Craigsley. They're attacking as a team. I'll give them that, but that's not necessarily what you want to do. It's all about, proper spacing. As Super Pants nearly lobs in another one. That one's going to go off the post and miss. Zethro continuing to play that corner. Ball gets actually an awkward bounce right there. Super Pants swings and misses. Horizontal, though, alone on the defensive half. Going for that clear forward. Another good bounce that sets up Super Pants, who will cross up the defense yet again. This defense being forced to go corner to corner, side to side. Never quite hitting that goal like we would like to see. Whoa. Kind of lost vision of the game real quick. Sorry about that. As we do go, Super Pants lobbing it up for Zethro. Off that backboard, here comes a play. Not quite. Oh, Horizontal unable to break through. Zethro. Dribble, trying to find Super Pants. Swing and a miss from the Pants as Funky Planet will play middle pitch. Oh, awkward little flip right there. Been there, done that before. Know how that one feels. It's always a little bit frustrating, especially when it leads to a counterattack goal. Horizontal goes the distance, drills it through. 3-0 lead for Grace Gamers. Grand Champ, back-to-back RLS champion. Good to know, Horizontal. Best player. A lot of support coming out for Horizontal right now. As we do see a 3-0, 100 seconds remaining left in this game. Super Pants. Oh, has a good setup off that backboard. Do we see the shot? Yeah, we do. And Zethro will be able to put in yet another. If we weren't sure before, I think we're looking more and more sure now. 91 seconds left on the clock, and it is a 4-0 lead. As that goes in. 131. Kick off. Zethro going to win that challenge. Ball going to make its way to the corner. Air Force 4 not moving. And I wonder if that's a disconnect or what's gone on there. But that is a car not moving. Turning this into a 2v3. And now we're seeing the bumps. Horizontal. Yeah, wakes the Air Force up. Bumping them around. And now we're seeing Air Force driving around. All right, just needed a little reboot, I suppose, to get that car driving. As we see... Play across the middle, Horizontal, looking for Zethro in that back corner. We'll press it just a little bit forward. Underneath, that's EPL, lobbing it up. Air Force, unable to beat Super Pants to the play who sets up. Zethro, no contact made, but Horizontal from underneath will go ahead and make that one a 5-0 lead. I believe Zethro was the intended target right there. As we watch, yeah, Zethro just kind of missing it. And Horizontal playing the patient game puts it through. 5-0 in favor of the Grace Gamers. They're going to be winning this game, and in turn, it's safe to say this blue side is going to be winning this series. Very happy with how this one has gone if you're a fan of this Grace Gamers side. And guess what? We get to see the other Grace Gamers team, too, in our next matchup. So we'll see if the entire school is as dominant as this. Horizontal making it 6-0 now with 39 seconds remaining. Could be looking at another Brazil scoreline, actually, if we continue at this rate. Alrighty, the Twitch chat's going to start calling for it. Still need 2 goals in 40 seconds. We already know that if Grace gets that 7th, they will own goal it just to make it 7-1. Curious if they're going to have that opportunity, though. The defense for Craigsley going to try and hold on, although it's one unforced error. EPL able to follow it through, but Horizontal already there. And look at Super Pants. Look at the space. He'll drive that one off the post and in. 7-0 lead. And I think it's going to turn into... that, well, potential Brazil scoreline. Do we see another own goal to end this one? Do they actually force, Craigsley to earn it? I would like to see them force Craigsley to earn it. Don't give them the goal for free. Don't give the Brazil away for free. As we see that kickoff, Funky Planet still makes contact despite the fake. Going to be looking to pass it back down to a teammate, I imagine. Zethro pushing it towards the net, and Horizontal is going to own goal it himself. Funky Planet, though, will be the one who taps it in. I mean... again, don't like seeing it off the own goal type situation. That wasn't the most sporting Brazil I have ever seen. But it's still the Brazil scoreline, and that's enough for the chat to lose its mind. So there you go. 7-1. I'm assuming this will be the final score unless we see one last shot put in. Zethro from the box decides to keep it down low. 3, 2, 1, and done. Great Gamers, 2 7-1 score lines in a row to help them into that 3-0 victory. They take the match. They take the series. And this team looks pretty staying strong, if I do say so myself. I'll be pretty happy with that result right there. This team going to be one to watch out for moving forward. Speaking of which, though, moving forward, we're going to be seeing the Grace Gamers middle school lineup taking on the TSS Cyber Sharks in our next game. And I'm going to be really curious to see if the middle school team is as strong as that high school team, because that high school team, very, very competent. I mean, horizontal and super pants. That 1-2 combo is going to be something to look out for in the future. So looking ahead, I mean, this is going to be that match when we return. We're going to be looking at Grace Gamers taking on TSS Cyber Sharks. That's going to be up next, so stay with us. More Rocket League when we come back.
Can you feel me now?
forget how far it goes. So everybody knows you had a good chance, but didn't say much. Left it too late now to apologize. Oh, time has gone too with memories to burn down and empty sympathy. Your followers know it now.
Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is HSL Season 2 Rocket League, and guess what? We're already into the action. Game 3, as you can see, underway. Grace Gamers Middle School in blue. TSS Cyber Sharks are in orange. We're 40 seconds into this opening game. They're a little quick to jump the gun. It's all well and good. We haven't missed any of the action just yet. As you can see, this is a Conference C matchup between these two teams, so perhaps some newer players to the game compared to what we had seen previously on the pitch, and how they're going to be able to pull this one off. Well, again, what we're going to be looking for, consistent touches of the ball, maybe rotational play, hopefully rotational play. I'm already liking what I'm seeing out of TSS in the fact that they're playing from the middle of the field, setting up their shots and putting him through. That's Dish Voyage 1494, getting that opening goal right there, a Season 2 Gold Tournament winner, might I add. As we watch that one go in, a good little start right there from TSS Cyber Sharks. Real quick, looking over those lineups for the Grace Gamers Middle School side, you have Holloman, Cal, and Evans. For the Cyber Sharks, Dish Voyage, iPhone OCE, and H. Potsy. iPhone OCE, name very familiar actually, because I believe I may have did some marshalling with this team last week. That's neither here nor there at the moment. It's going to be a 1-0 score line in favor of the Southport School. The Cyber Sharks out in front, feeling pretty good. As we see a play across the middle of the field right now, will be collected by iPhone OCE. Not quite. In fact, Evans is able to steal it away. Ball being held up in the air. Cal a little too far back, though, to make the immediate play on that. Has to use all of the boost to get up the field. And in the end, didn't even really find a super strong touch from it. That's okay. Follow through is there. Evans had a chance, but isn't quite able to corral it and put it into the goal. 2 minutes in, 1-0 lead for the Cyber Sharks right now. As we continue along, ball will find its way back into the corner. Dishy Voyage will looking to cross it up, has to chase it up themselves. Again, trying to pepper through that corner. Trying to set up the pass, weak defensive touch, follow through, not quite there. Ball still in a dangerous spot. iPhone OCE with a chance. Puts it a little bit high. The third member not in position to strike. And that's going to be that attack fizzling for the time being. Hallman actually finds a well-positioned play with that Lamborghini. I have to admit, the Lamborghini's actually growing on me. Initially wasn't a fan of the Lamborghini, more of a Dominus man myself, but Lamborghini is growing, so there you go. As Holomap is going to try and press forward, swing and a miss from iPhone. Now Holomap is there, but won't be able to turn that into a goal. H. Potsy through that corner. Flicks it past 1-2 defenders. One more to beat. Got that tap forward. Now you need a second member. Where's the second member? Well, they're all underneath the ball, which will mean a weaker touch in the middle of the field. But that might be enough, actually, to create some offensive pressure. Eventually, iPhone goes there. Feels a little bit backflip, bro. Not what they was looking for. Triple commit through the corner. Open middle of the field, but no one in a position defensively to punish. Now it's the triple commit from the defensive side. As eventually the ball does make its way to that middle of the pitch. Here we go. Shot. Ooh, nearly gets lobbed in. Not quite in the net just yet. Definitely a very different looking game than what we've seen thus far. Defenders bumping into each other. Still find the clear. As we fall down into our final minute 35. Hallaman puts one on target, and it's going to find its way slowly into the net. That's going to be a 1-1 ball game. As we watch this one more time. Yeah, Hallaman just able to gap that defense, put one through, tie ball game at 1 apiece. Feeling pretty good right there. Grace Gamer's going to be happy with that. As we hit our final minute 30 to go. Kickoff. Off that sidewall, Holloman is able to get there, kind of lobbing one up more towards himself. iPhone keeps that ball held down. Holloman trying to follow it through. Gets held up in the corner by Potsy. We'll find that pass forward to Dish Voyage. Stays with it underneath, looks for the bump, doesn't quite find it. Ball in the box, a chance. Not going to be connected on just yet. As Evans will now look to try to go the other way. Minute 3 seconds to go. Hallaman still holding in the middle of the field. Potsy, they're going to take advantage of the slow defensive clear. 2 defenders back in the box. They each commit. Fortunately for this blue side, they don't get immediately punished. Hallaman was able to rotate back. And that saves that goal from going through initially. The attack's still on until we see that lob. And that should be creating enough space. Double commit coming from the side of the Grace Gamers. Doesn't lead to too much attacking pressure. Still 37 seconds remaining in this game. Funnily enough, this is actually looking like our closest match yet. If anyone's going to be going 5, it might be this one. 30 seconds to go. Still a 1-1 ball game as Potsy is going to try and create something in regulation. That's an open-looking net. Double commit on the shot. They got the pinch. And Evans got the save. I'm not liking the lack of communication, though, coming from the TSS Cyber Sharks. That should not have been a double commit. in those type of tight situations. Still, battle is going back and forth right now, as we do see a play through that corner. Evans now going to try to play that backboard. Second touch by Evans. Ball's held up. Here comes Hall, and it's not going to be in time. Overtime, first one of the afternoon, or actually now I think it's safe to say it's the evening, as the sun has gone down. Opening kickoff does go in favor of Grace Gamers with a couple unforced errors. That's an open net. Holloman doesn't quite have that angle, but Evans is in position and cannot make contact with the ball. Two unforced errors and then a missed open net, now leading to a counterattack for the Cyber Sharks. Only able to take it straight towards the goal. Aren't able to fight it. Evans now. One defender to beat. He's going to try to dribble it to himself. The car control was there, but the shot was not. Hallam, trying to play middle of the field. Now has to fall back defensively. Tries to get it to the corner. Swing and a miss from Kyle. And Dish Voyage, not wanting to get too aggressive just yet, has that boost. Now puts it to use off that backboard. No one there to collect the pass, as both other members of the Cyber Sharks did fall back into defense. Hallaman, again, peppering that back corner. Now it's going to try to play from underneath. Gets the bump. That'll lead to Cahill now. Doesn't find that pass through the corner. The ball will get jammed here, I think, for a fair little bit until someone gets a good bang. Evans going to try to slow play it. That's setting up iPhone OCE, who needs to make that read. It's an awkward one, but enough to slow the attack, at least for now. Evans going to have another attempt with it. Ball through that corner. Hallaman doesn't like that initial look. Gets bumped. Winds up missing it. It's a breakaway. One defender. Cal does enough to bump the attack off the ball. Still, we're going to see that pass into the box, and it finds its way through. The TSS Cyber Sharks take game number 1. As we watch this again, iPhone, it was a light tap as Potsy able to get the dunk onto Holloman, and that's going to be enough to win that first game. The Cyber Sharks out in front 1-0, and it's pretty good that they got that dunk onto Holloman, because I would say Holloman probably is looking arguably like the strongest player on the pitch right now. However, if you can make the reads on this player, you can find those openings where you're going to be able to get those goals. A good start for the TSS Cyber Sharks, now up by 1 in this series. Get comfortable, everybody, though, because when game 1 goes overtime, it tells us that we could be in for a special one, as that was only our opening game. We're still going to have at least 2 more to go. I suspect we're going to be getting more. Jump straight back into spectate mode. Get ready to go for our second matchup. See if the Grace Gamers are going to be able to bring it back. They had some moments of brilliance. See if they'll be able to continue with it, as the players are back on the field. Here we go. Game number 2. As the kickoff. Oh, it's a fake kickoff. Holloman able to drive it straight to H. Potsy, who will now try to play that bump that leads to a lobber. iPhone OCE gets a nice save right there. Good power behind that as well. Able to follow it up. If that shot's straight, it could go in. Not enough power, though, as Evans was able to fall back. That would have been a great goal, I think, for these players. iPhone's going to put up another lobber, and oh, Holloman misses. And iPhone OCE gets the opening goal just 23 seconds in. Awkward read from Holloman right there. Very unfortunate. Couldn't quite make that save. A good lob, a good shot, and iPhone OCE going to make this one 1-0. Still 4:35. A lot of time in this game. Our last game did go into overtime with a 1-1 scoreline, and Evans is going to try to tie it up. iPhone OCE from underneath. Able to find that save. Now it's going to try to drive it across the middle of the field. Will get shut down by, I believe that is a sub in, actually. Just get that name correctly. It is Valet. Just going to call them V, I think. Not sure how they would want that name to be pronounced. As we do play through that corner right there. Evans going to fall back in that one. Holloman now going to play into that corner. Light tap back down. Trying to create some space. In the end, V will find that clear through the corner. It's going to go you a 50-50, and no one makes good contact with it. iPhone pass back, but to who? Okay, that's a bit of a relief, as Potsy was able to get back there for it. Now we see V trying to play a bit of shadow defense. Doesn't quite find it. Gets demoed. But the shot does wind up a little off target. iPhone OCE playing through that corner. Defense does enough to slow it down, but iPhone will keep the ball held in a dangerous spot. Looking for that pass across the middle. No contact made on the ball. Will eventually lead to V finding the clear through the corner. Oh no! Defenders bump into each other, and Evans there for the punish. That's going to go through. Miscommunication in the defense right there from the Cyber Sharks. Open the door, and it gets put in by the Grace Gamers. Very awkward unforced error You kind of hate to see it unless you know you're a fan of the Grace Gamers, in which case you are laughing and loving life. Tie ball game in a arguable, pretty important game, I'd say, for the Grace Gamers. They're going to want to win this one. You don't want to go down 2-0 in any series. As we see Halaman a chance to put their team ahead. Everyone misses, but somehow iPhone is able to get back and make a play on that backboard. And then off that demo, Potsy was almost able to go straight down the center. As V will play along that sidewall. Halaman gets challenged, loses out. Potsy is going to try to stay with it. Instead, it's lobbed up by Evans, who will try to chase through from underneath. Sees that ball sail overhead. As it does get shut down in the middle of the pitch. Evans going to chase it up. Does he want to play the corner? Not quite today. Eventually, we do see Valet find that clear. Across the field we go. Ball off that backboard from underneath. It is just sort of played across the center. Disc Voyage. Looking for a read. Not going to get too much. Still 2:37 to go. Swing and a miss from iPhone. And that's going to be Evans. It was an open net. Turns it into a pass. It's off the post. And no, Evans, he pushes it out. Evans pushes it out. How does that happen? Oh, that is heartbreaking for the Grace Gamers right there. Still half a game, still plenty of time to get themselves back in it. But you don't always see situations like that. My goodness, Potsy going to try and play it through the corner. As iPhone makes one save, unable to find a second. Perhaps Evans still trying to throw it down. Eventually, we do see that clear into the corner from underneath. iPhone tries to follow it up, doesn't get too far with it. Potsy lobbing it up. Read by Hal, and only goes so far with it. Now he's going to try to play through that corner. Potsy from underneath sets up iPhone case. Evans gets bumped off the play. Shot from Dishy going towards the net. Hal only goes so far with it. As Halaman actually has potential to dribble, has potential to go far. Gets that ball towards the corner, but unable to go too much further with it. V, shot, target. It looks good. It looks very good. And there is the redemption that the Grace Gamers needed. They're going to take the lead in this one, 2-1 now. As we watch this again, Evans just making sure that Potsy is unable to get the read on that play. 2-1 game. Grace Gamers looking to tie this series up. If they can hold on for just a minute and a half, they should be good to go. iPhone with possession gets one touch. Looking for the second. Actually loses out on that challenge. Ball slowly bouncing towards the net. Will be red. Ball back towards the middle. Oh, you got to be careful right here if you're Grace. That ball's going to fall in a very dangerous spot, but V can make the backboard read and clear it back to safety. Still 1:05 to go. Plenty of time in this game. Disc Voyage keeps that one held in the center. V is going to try to turn it into a shot. A goal here would put this one out of reach, I would imagine. Defense from the Cybersharks able to hold on, although Halaman's going to have another crack at it. Play off that backboard. Evans there cuts off V and is unable to get that goal. Halaman actually could have, I think, gone up and looked for the shot. Instead tries to play defensively. V winds up bumping his defender. It's going to be an attack. Double commit, though, as attackers get in each other's way. We'll see that attack fizzle out. Ball being held in a good spot. V unable to get there quite in time. 30 seconds still to go. And it's looking more and more likely like the Grace Gamers are going to tie the series up, or are they a chance for Disc Voyage? But unable to put it in. 20 seconds left. One last scoring opportunity for the Cybersharks, and, well, they're not even going to get it. That last goal is going to go to the Grace Gamers. That's going to be a 3-1 lead, and that should put game number 2 well and truly out of reach. So that will be a 3-1 lead. It will be a 1-1 series. More reason why I feel like this one could possibly be going the distance. This could be our 5-gamer. 18 seconds. We'll start to tick down. I don't imagine we'll see too much, although if Evans almost was able to get one more cheeky one off that kickoff. In fact, V is going to have a chance at it as well. Bumps Potsy off the play, and it's going to go in. 4-1 now. Grace Gamers running away with this a little bit, pulling further and further ahead. Looking more and more likely they're going to be, feeling pretty strong in this series. And I wish I could say I was surprised by the results in Game 2, but honestly, back into Game 1, I did feel like Grace Gamers were that faster team. Granted, it was mostly off of Halaman, but in Game number 2, we've seen V substitute himself in and has been absolutely dominant onto the pitch itself. Grace Gamers take Game 2 quite comfortably when it's all said and done. A 4-1 series or game win. Tie up this series. From here, I'm wondering if we're going to see more subs. There's been a lot of subs in our latter games, so you don't get too comfortable with whoever happens to be playing. Curious if Grace Gamers have any more tricks up their sleeve. That's where our eyes are going to be. Time sort of tick-tocking away. We'll be into our next match shortly, I imagine, as soon as everyone readies up. From the Cyber Sharks, I mean, they had opportunities. I would still say Grace Gamers had more. I mean, you can see the shot difference right there, 10-4. Just need to see, better defensive clears. I felt like a lot of those first touches from the Cyber Sharks were quite weak. They didn't quite get the distance that they needed. A lot of it comes from playing in the box and not really sweeping through and getting that momentum to really get good bangs on the ball. If they can get better bangs, more strong plays, they'll be in a better position, as we're just going to jump straight in now to game number 3. At least 2 more games of Rocket League to be played. It is a best of 5, so plenty of time for the Cyber Sharks to retake possession. Whoever wins this does put themselves in match point, though, so a very important game for either side as we get ready to go. Don't let the scoreboard at the top fool you. It is a 1-1 scoreline at the moment. Grace Gamers 1, Cyber Sharks 1 as well. As we kick off game number 3, Hallaman trying to make that kickoff work, but it actually leads to 2 unforced errors as V mixes as well. Evans attempting to create that pressure, only goes so far with it. Dish Voyage now with some space. It's a light touch. Potsy shutting the ball down in the middle of the field. Not really enough boost to go up and chase after it, so has to give up possession. That's okay, though. Defense did fall back. iPhone in a really awkward spot, actually. Forced to sort of watch that one sail overhead. Hallaman now is going to play through that corner. No shot. Yes, there is. That's going to come from V, and that's going to be the 1-0 lead. Grace Gamers Middle School continuing right where they left off as they find another goal right here. That's 3 in a row unanswered. If you were to go back into that last game, it would be a 5-1 scoreline right now. Since making that substitution, Grace Gamers have been in more and more control, although off this kickoff, looking pretty good for the Dish Voyage. Ball gets lobbed back to the middle. Potsy's going to put one up. It's off that backboard, and no, fall through, not quite in position just yet. Hallaman rocking the NASCAR, by the way. I appreciate that, personally. Wouldn't mind seeing more Formula 1 cars, but hey, I'm still waiting for that to get released. The NASCARs are pretty cool as well. Touch made. Just going to push that one more towards the net. Hallaman shot off that backboard. Do we see a play? Yeah, V can't get it in. Tried to cross up the defense, just not accurate enough with that shot just yet. 1-0 scoreline. Dish Voyage from underneath, playing it off the wall. Hallaman with a chance, pushing it forward as iPhone will fall back into that corner. Couple light touches. Forces Dish Voyage to stay back. Now we see another shot coming from Hallaman. Again, nothing really quite getting into the net right now. This defense, though, is forced back, and we're not seeing those strong touches, and we're definitely not seeing any real defensive passes. It's just attempts to try and find the right spot to break the offensive rotations, and TSS haven't been able to find it yet. Now they're kind of chasing the ball corner to corner, and that's going to make setting up these defensive clears that much more difficult. This actually could be very dangerous. Evans should go up, puts one a little bit high, but the follow-through is there. V spikes it in with gusto, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead in favor of the Grace Gamers. Yeah, absolutely committing on that, V. Able to put that one through. Grace Gamers pulling further and further ahead in this series. A 2-0 lead. Feeling mighty comfortable with themselves about now. Have to imagine this is the lead they're going to be holding on with for the time being. It really looks like since making this sub, Grace Gamers have elevated their game, and I'm going to have to call them the favorites of this series from this point moving forward. Unless we see a lot out of this orange side open net, that's going to go through. That's the response we wanted to see out of the Cyber Sharks. 2-1 right now. As we watch that corner setup, iPhone just had to sit in place and wait for the ball to roll to themselves. Put it in it, straight front and center. Wasn't the most powerful shot, only 60 kilometers per hour, but definitely powerful enough. Feeling pretty good after that. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Evans, corner. Looking to connect to someone, to anyone. Oh, almost got Hallaman. Instead, defenders bumping into each other. Trying to create some space, and well, you know, it still winds up in possession of iPhone, who I think is who you want it to be if you're on the TSS Cyber Sharks side, as they are going to try and again find a way to sort of clear this defense. Triple commit. You saw it coming, and there's the punish coming from Hallaman. Net mostly open. Defense able to rotate back, not quite fast enough, but that's going to set up Evans, who will put it through. Panicked defense after that triple commit. Yes, everyone was able to race back in time, but they felt like they had to make an immediate play, and that light bump onto Potsy was enough for the door to be opened. 3-1 scoreline right now. Grace Gamers, they're feeling pretty good about this. If they can hold on to this score, well, they're going to be moving up 2-1 in the series, 2 wins in a row, and putting themselves in a match point. As, defense bumping into each other from the Grace Gamers side. V able to recover, though, collects that midfield boost. Slow in the pace down, going to try to get the defense to bite, goes for the bump, finds one. But not finding that second challenge means that iPhone is able to clear it back that other way. Still 2 minutes on the clock, plenty of time, especially with the goal right here. Shots post, and not in. Missed opportunity again for the Cyber Sharks. Perhaps this one, though, can go through. Disboy had a chance, but I actually believe that was V from behind who was able to get that defensive touch. And now, going that other way, Evans, perfect placement, upper left-hand corner, 4-1 score lead. And that's probably going to put this one out of reach. 106 seconds still to go. But the consistency that Grace Gamers have when on the attack and just sort of keeping that ball there until those opportunities open up for goals has been unmatched. The Cyber Sharks on defense struggling to find clears, and now they're struggling to find kickoffs as well. Oh, a disaster for the Cyber Sharks. That's one they're going to need to want to have back. They need that drive to want it back. It's kind of what I'm getting at. The point is it's a little bit embarrassing. Either way, 5-1 scoreline, still 101 seconds. And we're getting closer and closer to a possible Brazil scoreline. That would be our third of the evening. Kind of impressive, I suppose, in its own right. Grace Gamers, perpetrators of all of them, be it the A team or the middle school team. Be a little bit surprising if we do go that direction. Still a minute and a half to go. Plenty of time for some action, if nothing else. Hallaman's going to, bounce one off of an iPhone and put it in. Now a 6-1 score line. Oh, that's an awkward one right there as we watch this. Just, right off that Dominus and into the net. Not much Hallaman was going to be able to do right there, so very awkward. Minute 20 still to go. As we sort of chill out. Relax, I think, mentally prepare ourselves for Game 4. It could be our final game of the afternoon, unless the Cyber Sharks are going to be able to bring one back. Very much in a difficult position right now, as Hallaman will look to play through that corner. Potsley putting one up. V keeping it held in the air. Follow through. Not quite the positioning that we wanted to see. Let's see what Evans can do. Looking to throw it back for V. Gets one touch. Looking for that second. Looking to drive it, only runs straight into iPhone. Now comes another play. It's a lobber, and it's off the backboard and not quite in. As Hal will look to continue to try to play that corner. Another challenge in that position. Will lose out. Ball gets lobbed back towards the middle of the field. Evans, unable to find too much of a read just yet. Oh, big swing and a miss from V. And now the ball's going to roll back across that middle. Hal putting one forward. It's going to try to chase that ball from underneath. And no, he doesn't even need to. Viva la Brazil! This is the Brazil scoreline that we've been waiting to see. This is the one that I feel is more deserved, as it is a 7-1. Oh, baby. Grace Gamers. I think this team is like the expert at pulling off the 7-1 scoreline. It's safe to say that this school's third one this afternoon, be it the upper bracket team or the middle school team. Both teams able to find 7-1 score lines. Even, in the same sort of situation to move themselves to match point. And both of them happened in Game 3 as well. Like, those are two different situations still. Kind of crosses over if you get my drift. As we track down 2-1 and, well, not quite done yet. Ball still needs to touch the ground. As it gets held up in the air for a little bit, eventually will hit the bottom. And that is Grace Gamers moving on to match point. Very, very happy, Grace Gamers, right now that they are at this match point. Whether or not they're going to be able to hold on to it, we shall see. I have a feeling, though, when you pull off the Brazil in that fashion, very good chance we're going to be seeing the Grace Gamers continue this dominance. Cyber Sharks, it's rough. They've just been on that defensive side for so long. They're unable to clear that ball past that middle of the field, and until they find a consistent way to do so, this trend is going to continue. And I feel the best way for them to do so is really they just need to make more solid contact, absolutely bang that thing, and not be afraid to go for the challenges to do so. I feel as if, the Cyber Sharks are just giving up so much space when the Grace Gamers go on that attack. And it has been holding them back. We'll see how Game 3 does go, however, as we kick this bad boy off. Ball's actually a swing and a miss from V. This could open the door for the Cyber Sharks, perhaps. Haven't seen him on attack for a good long while. It's off that backboard. iPhone looking for it. Going to keep that ball held up in the air. No play happening quite from underneath. And eventually that will lead to time running out. Oh! Just Voyage forcing the own goal right there. I believe that may have been off of Hal. It absolutely was just drilled in the center of the net. Oh, that is an own goal and a half right there. My goodness. Grace Gamers, not the start they were looking for, I imagine, if they're looking to clean up in game number 4. Now they're going to have a chance to start to play this one forward. Ball in the middle of the pitch, collected by, I believe that's Hal. Someone's going to have to follow it up. Hal's going to be racing towards it, playing through that corner. Ball's going to fall down in front of the net. Strike not there, Evans. Falls out a little bit short as we see Hal again off that backboard. Another attempt. That one will go through. And Evans is going to find a way to tie out this game 1 apiece in our opening minute of game number 4. Yeah, right smack dab in the middle. My goodness. Just the most lightest, most delicate touch, but still a good, strong touch nonetheless. 1-1 ball games as V will play it more towards the middle. Hal actually has the ability to chase underneath. Good challenge from iPhone, though. That's the sort of place that we want to see from the Cyber Sharks. Finding those clears in that fashion. Now they just need to follow it up. They do so with the double commit. This could be scary. Hal, though's in an awkward spot and somehow wins off of a second double commit in front of the goal. Look how open the field is right now. Evans just needed to tap that towards the net. It would have gone through. That's a big break for the Cyber Sharks. That was not turned into a goal going back that other way. Hal now will play it forward up into that opposite corner. iPhone's going to look to throw it back down. V has a read but doesn't have the contact needed. Hal now through that corner is going to watch that one roll back to the center of the pitch. Hal will maintain possession, tries to touch it forward. In the end, the ball does sail across the middle. Awkward read by Evans. That was closer to an own goal than what one might initially think. That said, Hal will slow it down, goes for the bump, cannot find it. Once again, cleared out of the middle of the field. Potsy. Ooh. Could have taken a shot, I feel. Instead, put that one a bit too high. We'll see the defensive clear now. Coming back from the Grace Gamers. Evans with a chance. Isn't able to beat Potsy to the ball. Again, we play through that corner. Hal has a read, but doesn't quite get to the right spot of the ball. Got the demo onto iPhone instead. And without, I think, the most volatile player of the Cyber Shark side, this attack might not last too long. Potsy is going to keep it going for as long as possible. Double commit by the blue side defense. Ball bounces in the middle of the field. Swing and a miss from one attacker. And now, Dishy Voyage nearly let that one get behind. That could have been a goal. It still might be, as we do see the Grace Gamers on the attack. Swing and a miss from Halaman. And now iPhone with possession but with no boost. Going to try and create space. It's a fake to underneath. Nearly crossing up the defense. Won't turn into the go-ahead goal just yet. Halfway through game number 4. The Cyber Sharks, they have shown up. They are playing a lot more aggressively than what we saw in Game 3, and the results are paying dividends. More time on to attack right now as defenders get in each other's way. Dish Voyage unable to corral it. As V from the box will play it underneath, now looking to chase it up. Double commit coming from the Grace Gaming side. Still gets that ball all the way to the box, all the way to the shot. It's Halaman who puts it through. And that is a 2-1 lead for the Grace Gamers with 2:06 to go. They're going to be looking to hold on and get themselves that match victory. Still averaging a goal a minute, though, which does tell me we could see another 2 goals. Cyber Sharks, I think, playing on that logic, they're really going to want that next one. Halaman, though, off the kickoff is the first player to find the setup. Only do so much with it. Let's see what Velate can do. Looking for the bumps, looking for the plays. It's nearly in the net. It comes off the post. Follow-up shot, though, from Halaman. Will put it in. And now with a 3-1 lead, Grace Gamers might be able to breathe a small sigh of relief. You don't want to get too relaxed now. There's still time on that clock. Anything can happen. That said, when you are 3-1 out on top, you're usually feeling pretty good that you're going to be taking this series. 105 seconds to play. Evans going to be that next one to challenge the ball. Keeps it in the center. Follow up. Not quite there from V. As now we see Potsy. Going to lob one down the field. Swing and a miss from Halaman. This could be an opening. Disvoyage needs to get there. Had the angle. But Halaman was able to recover for the save. And now we go the other way. Potsy needs to get that one into the corner. Doesn't have the power. And it is a 4-1 game. And Remember when this one was close? That was only about, 35 seconds ago. But since then, 3 goals scored by the side of the Grace Gamers. They are now up 4-1, and it looks like they are going to be taking this match. 3 goals to go. That is what's required from the Cyber Sharks. 3 goals when they haven't really been able to get more than 1. I mean, they got 2 in the opening game, but they're going to have to get 3 right now. I just don't see it happening. Not seeing it. I'm getting confirmation as well behind the scenes. No one here really can see it happening, but when no one believes, sometimes it's when you can rise up the most. Can the Cyber Sharks pull off a small-scaled miracle? Well, they're going to have to do so from defense right now. Disvoyage makes 1 attacker miss. Can't get it past the second, as Evans will shut it down. Still 52 seconds to go, and they're still stuck on their own defensive half. Evans playing it through the corner. It does get a double commit on the defense. Not what you want to see from this orange side, as we see V again putting pressure down. Halliman goes up for it. Keeps the ball held in the corner. 35 seconds left. Don't go too far with that play. V now swings and misses. A lot of swings, a lot of misses. More swings, more misses, and then getting in each other's way. The play starting to get sloppy as we hit our final 23 seconds. Enough time for 1 more attack, maybe, but not enough time for 3 goals. As we see, well, at least 1 more goal goes through, or does it, Evans? That has to be the best save of the day thus far. 10 seconds to go, and V will put another one in. 5-1 scoreline. If we weren't sure before, we are definitely sure now. The Grace Gamers, they're going to be walking away with the victory. They're going to be finishing this one off with a 3-1 series scoreline, and they're going to be confident in that. I mean, this school, 2 strong performances from both of the teams right now, so keep your eyes on this squad. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Grace in the future. Talk hits 0, ball hits the ground, and the series is done. GG's, well played, being dropped. Grace Gamers do a little bit of a victory dance. This team going to be very happy with that victory right there. The Cyber Sharks did look a little bit better coming into our last game, but it just was not meant to be, unfortunately for them, falling short. And I mean, I don't know, 5-1 scoreline that last game. It was 1-1 with 2 minutes to go, or 2:06 to go, I should say, pardon me. So you can't be too critical of that. All what you can do is look forward and look ahead to some of our future games. That said, it is time to wrap up, though. 3 fun series, 3 very different series as we take a look sort of at the results and how our games went today. Start off with the Craigsley Conquerors over Chisholm Maroon, 3-1 in what was definitely our fastest paced game. That one was a lot of fun. Then Grace Gamers entered the field. They took down Craigsley Conquerors 2, the second Craigsley team, 3-0, a bit more dominant fashion. And then in our third and final series, it was the Grace Gamers middle school team going up on top over the TSS Cyber Sharks, 3-1, being that final score line right there. One last time, I would like to thank all the schools for participating in this event. I'd like to thank everyone in the Twitch chat for joining in. I had a lot of fun reading your banter and, participating when and where and could. Hope to see you guys tune in some more next week, by the way, as we're going to be starting that same time, 4:20 every single Monday here at XP Esports. And, well, if Rocket League isn't your, forte, there's also that Rainbow Six Women's League that is going down as well. So drop that follow. Don't to mention, if you live in Brisbane, check out TGG. That's where these games are being casted from. That is where the action is happening. It's a pretty sweet place to be. So come to the University of Queensland, check it out. And until then, have a great day, everybody. Big love to all of you. Till next time, have fun.
Get elite real-world performance for your desktop PC with 10th Gen Intel Core processors. If you're looking to game, create, live stream, or stay productive, 10th Gen Intel Core processors deliver an optimal balance of frequency, cores, and threads to handle real-world usages. Get enthusiast-level performance with an Intel Core i9 processor, up to 5.3 GHz clock speed for peak gaming performance and content creation workloads. Or for competitive gameplay and content creation, choose an Intel Core i7 with up to 5.1 GHz clock speed to handle your demanding applications. The Intel Core i5 processor with up to 4.8 GHz gives you a seamless AAA gaming and entertainment experience. And with up to 4.6 GHz clock speed, the Intel Core i3 is a great fit for everyday tasks and productivity. If you're looking to push your system even further, get additional performance headroom with unlocked 10th Gen Intel Core processors, supported by Intel's advanced overclocking controls. Bring elite, real-world performance to your desktop PC with 10th Gen Intel Core processors.
see me with it. You don't wanna see me with it. See me with
Can you feel me? I'm so sad if I to show my feelings for you. Need to know what you're feeling, know what you're feeling. I'm so sad if I to show my feelings for you. Can you feel me?
as much about human relationships as I thought.
I can picture what you're thinking of. My imagination's not enough. Oh, no, it's not safe to say what you're always looking for. Hey, someone to make you feel like. Don't wanna think of all the who's that you can pick and choose for. Talk about us like you want it. Stop talking like, ooh, we ain't lost it. You don't seem to know, ooh, you're on cruise control. Don't wanna think of all the who's that you can pick and choose for. I wanna make you feel like you talk about us like you want it. Talking like, ooh, we ain't lost it. You don't seem to know, ooh, you're on cruise control.
Thank you.
I'm stuck inside of these walls within. I don't recognize who